Hi. Today you are doing the Rorschach test activity, and earlier in our class as a whole, if you remember, we did talk about Rorschach test, and Charlie's going to experience that a little bit in our story as well. So it's a good thing that you kind of have an idea of what these are. But if you'll remember in class, we went through and we talked about what a Rorschach test is. We looked at these different examples, and really it's where you see an image within this ink blot, and there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer, but psychiatrists use this to kind of help determine things about people. And so Charlie is going to experience that as they are looking at the changes that are going to happen for him throughout the story. So going back to the activity that you're actually going to do, now that you have some prior knowledge on what Rorschach tests are, you're going to kind of try this out for yourself. You are getting a paper copy of this. It's in the box. So just go up to that file folder, get your paper copy out. There are instructions on here. And so this is kind of a two-part thing that you got going on. So I'm going to just open my digital copy so you can see what this looks like. The very first thing that's on your activity is just a brief description. It just talks about what is a Rorschach test, and there's some informational text on here that you do need to read and go through because there are some questions on here as well. And it's divided up. You've got these headings here that'll kind of break that up for you. So then you have a couple of questions over what you just read. You do need to make sure that you answer these questions in complete sentences, that you use the question stem in your answer. And all of the answers are up in that little mini passage. So make sure that you read that because you might have a hard time if you don't go and look for those specific answers. So that's the very first part of the assignment. The next part is really the fun part. And on this next part, you just have several ink blots. And I mean, look at them, they look kind of crazy. And you're just going to write over beside here what those ink blots look like to you. So if you look at the instructions, it says for each of the following images, write 2 sentences describing what you see. Neatly write your description in the space to the right of the images. So you are giving me 2 different sentences telling me 2 different things that you see within the ink blot. You do need to write those in complete sentences. And of course, all your answers are going to be different. You're going to see different things in all of these ink blots. And there's not necessarily a right or a wrong. It's just kind of where your brain takes you. Be prepared to discuss this at the beginning of next week. It's so much fun when we all start comparing what our answers are. So when you are finished with this activity, you are going to come get it checked off on your sheet and then make sure that that's ready to turn in for the beginning of next week. Have fun.